Welcome to the present simple. The tense of a verb tells when an action is happening. And we're going to be learning about the present simple today, like the examples you see. A verb is a word that tells what a noun does or is. The verb verifies tells what the lawyer is doing. And the verb grow tells what the trees are doing. An action verb tells what the subject is doing. And most action verbs name actions that can be easily seen or heard, as in the following examples. Scientists test engines with other fuels. Jenny and Steve enter the hobby shop. Some fuels pollute our air. Other action verbs name actions that we cannot see or hear. For example, they want a model train. The family enjoys a city adventure. A linking verb connects the subject of a sentence to a word or words that describe the subject. Linking verbs do not show action, and they include the following verbs: to be, to feel, to look, to taste, to smell, to sound, to seem, to hear, to become, to grow, and to remain. A linking verb can link the subject to an adjective that describes the subject. For example, Shannon is the friendliest girl in the class. The music sounds dysphonious. The tuba player looks distracted. Both action verbs and linking verbs can be in the present tense. And most of them you simply add an S in the third person singular form to form the present simple. For example, the police officer directs traffic. A cricket chirps in the evening. That car looks amazing. She eats yogurt every morning. Now for verbs that end in Z, SS, X, CH, or SH, they add an ES and they pronounce an extra syllable, as in the following examples. A bee buzzes beside the hive. My boyfriend misses me when I'm not here. The chef mixes the cake batter. My friend washes his clothes on Saturdays. For verbs that end in a consonant plus Y, you have to drop the Y and add IES to the base form of the verb. She carries the bag inside. My mother worries about everything. He tries to get all A's in school. Karen studies every night. Now for verbs that end in a vowel plus Y, you don't have to drop the Y. You simply add an S to the base form of the verb, as in the following examples. She pays me every other Friday. Maria enjoys her chocolate ice cream. John always obeys his mother. He always says he'll come, but he doesn't. For a plural subject, or a subject that is I, you, we, or they, do not add an ending to the verb. For example, bees buzz when they are making honey. Dogs sometimes bark a lot. You eat a lot of spaghetti. We run together every Saturday. Some verbs are irregular verbs, And they're important verbs. For example, to be, to have, and to do. I am, you are, he, she, or it is, we are, they are. The verb to be is used quite often, and the verb to have is also used. I have, you have, he, she, or it has, we have, and they have. And finally, the verb to do, which is important in forming negatives and questions. I do, you do, he, she, or it does, we do, and they do. So now we're going to look at making a sentence negative. In the third person singular, doesn't is added to the base form of the verb to form the negative. For example, the woman doesn't eat spaghetti. Now, if the sentence is plural, instead of adding doesn't, you add don't. The children don't play at the playground. Now, even though you just learned all the different spelling variations for uh, verbs in the present simple, those spelling rules don't apply to the negative. You need to use a conjugated form of the verb to do plus the base form of the verb, and do not add s. For example, Maria washes her clothes on Saturday becomes Maria doesn't wash her clothes on Saturday. And the men run a marathon becomes the men don't run a marathon. Now, the verb to be is a little bit different. It does not use the helping verb to do. It simply uses a conjugated form of the verb to be followed by not. So let's take a look at some examples. Frances is taller than her sister. Frances is not taller than her sister. And is not becomes isn't. Here's another one. We are happy about the situation. Becomes we are not happy about the situation. And are not becomes aren't. Now, when do we use the present simple? Well, there's a couple of situations. It could be if something is happening in the present, or if it's a habitual action or custom, or a general truth or origin. For example, country of origin. Now, when we have more than one sentence or a paragraph, it's very important to keep all the verbs in the same tense. For example, in the first example I give you that's incorrect, the first sentence is in the present. She shows us her puppy. And yet the second sentence, she taught him to sit, is in the past. So that would be incorrect to have that sentence follow the first one. The correct way to do it would be to put the first sentence in the present tense, she shows us her puppy, and continue with that in the second. She teaches him to sit. Okay, so now that you've learned quite a bit about the present simple, let's practice. So what is the verb in this sentence? The policemen dispel the crowd. Dispel. The pharmacy dispenses medications. Dispenses. The nail protrudes from the wall. Protrudes. The coach segregates the boys from the girls. Did you say segregates? Good job. Now choose the correct verb form to complete this sentence. Your two choices are between the parentheses. The pastor blanked to his congregation. The pastor preaches to his congregation. The child blanked to see the blackboard. The child strains to see the blackboard. The mathematicians blank the problem. The mathematicians solve the problem. Boa constrictors blank their prey. Boa constrictors constrict their prey. The judge blank the evidence. The judge verifies the evidence. The doctor blank her patient. The doctor hypnotizes her patient. I blank elated today. I feel elated today. Okay, now let's try to put the sentence in the correct negative form. I love going to dance class. I don't love going to dance class. The members congregate on the weekends. The members don't congregate on the weekends. The dentist extracts my tooth. The dentist doesn't extract my tooth. Joey and Dan speak many languages. Joey and Dan don't speak many languages. What is the they form of to eat? They eat. What is the we form of to love? We love. What is the I form of to contemplate? I contemplate. What is the you form of to recline? You recline. What is the he, she, or it form of think? He, she, or it thinks. Now we've come to the end of our presentation. I hope you enjoyed learning about the present simple and do related worksheets. Goodbye. Goodbye.